Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I'll be covering the responsive tools and the animation tools that Google Chrome Inspector provides. So let's move on to the responsive tool first. So in order to invoke the responsive tools, you have to click on this icon here. And once you click on it, it's going to activate the responsive tool. And as you can see immediately that it has changed the viewport. And basically you can select on the top left corner of the screen bunch of different devices to simulate. So some of them are mobile devices and some of them are actually laptops and stuff. So if I select, let's say iPhone X, it's going to change the viewport here, and it's trying to simulate the most approximate conditions of iPhone X, iPhone 10, I should say. But one note to keep in mind here that it's not always accurate. So you always have to debug in real device as well to see the results. Because this is running on the WebKit engine, customized for Google Chrome. But in actual device, it's going to be Safari. So the results are going to be different. But nonetheless, it's always useful to use this tool. So let's say I want to simulate iPad. I can see how it's going to look in iPad, and if I want to see Galaxy, or if I want to simulate high DPI screen with the laptop, it's giving me the results. So it's showing me right next to the option I selected, the dimensions, width and height of the page. And then you have a zoom level. Zoom level is basically an approximation of how device is going to look, but zoom in or zoom out. So if I select 50%, it's going to make it smaller, but it's keeping the aspect ratio the same. So I can choose fit to Windows. So it's going to determine what's the correct size for the current size available. It's going to adjust it according to it. Also, you can change the viewport quickly by clicking on these bars here. So this is going to give you a small mobile device. This is going to give you medium and large one. And then you have tablet. And then you have laptop. And let's say if I want to if I want to have a custom size. So you can choose the responsive. And basically with this, you get this default setting, but you can adjust it here to your liking. So you can arrange it width and height wise, and it's going to affect it here. And if you want, let's say if there's a size that you don't have it available here, you can click on edit, and you can choose from the predefined list here. If you can find a device here, that's great. You can just check it and it's going to appear there. But if it's not appearing there, you can add a custom device with the width and height and the device pixel ratio in order to test with it. So this is pretty useful. So let's try to play with it. I'm going to select iPhone 10. And basically, what I can do is I can find an element. Let's say, by the way, this trick I want to show you, like if you're selecting HTML here and you press Command F on the Mac, you can basically search the element by itself. So in this case, I want to search the header. So it gave me the header highlighted. So we can see here that it is being applied a media query already. I'm going to slightly change it, and let's say I want to make it 500 pixels. So this means that apply these styles to anything below 500 pixels. So let's say I'm going to add a background color. Blue, okay. So we can see here that the iPhone has 375 logical pixels. So we can choose the responsive and adjust it to see how it works. So we can see now the header is not blue, but as I reduce the size of the page below, just keep notice here, keep focus here that while I'm changing, the color change below 500, but the above 500 is still purple. So this could be really, really useful in order to uh, quickly debug your media queries and play around with it. So we covered the responsive tools now and how you can debug with it. There's another thing I want to show you here, which is device network speed. And with this drop down, you can basically simulate the conditions of a device with different bandwidth. Okay, so let's move on to the animation section of this tutorial. To bring up the animation section, you can either click on this three-dotted icon and run the command, or quick one is you can just press Command Shift P on Mac, and it's going to bring this command menu. And from here, you can just write the animation and press enter, and it's going to show up here on the bottom. So how the animation works here in Chrome Inspector. So basically, you can apply your animations, and it's going to record your animations and let you monitor them and test them out in slower and higher speeds. And also, it can allow you to dynamically edit the values. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So let me just bring this down here, and let me enable the laptop with high DPI. Okay, so let's try to animate this. What is it called? This image. In this case, it's SVG actually. So I can click on the SVG. Okay. So what should we do here? Yeah, we can try to apply the animation to this on hover. So let me add a hover class here. So hover, on hover, let's apply transition. Let's say all linear, and 1 second. This is the transition, and let's apply the transform here. So what should we do here? Let's do a scale. So let's make it 1.2, and also apply rotate. So let's say we want to apply 360, and then I think that should be enough. Maybe one another property, which is width. Let's make on hover 200 pixels. Okay. And conversely, what I want to do is, when it's not hovering, I want to apply these properties, but as a reset. So let's say I copied my properties here, and I'm going to paste it. But instead, as you can see already how it looks here. Let's remove the width for now. Okay. And I'm going to make this 0 and scale to be 1. It's very slow actually, but you can see from here you can adjust the easing here, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So let's go to the animation tab. Let me adjust my panel. Okay, this should be bigger. So let me clear out this first. Let's make it 100. So right now what it's doing, it's listening for the animations, any animations. So right now there hasn't been any animation run. So what I can do is I can simulate the hover state. So animation is triggered and it can record. So let's click on hover. And as you can see, it animated. And I'll click on hover again to record the reset animation. Okay. So now it recorded the both states of this animation. So this is the first state and this is the second state. So what I'm doing here, I'm just clicking on the animation and it's triggering. You can see, and it's showing me the value of that animation as well. And here at the bottom, it gives me the selector for that element and the property with its timeline. So as you can see, it's 1 second, which I set during the in the transition property here. And on the reset animation, it gives me this. Okay, so what I can do here is I can slow down the animation to 20% to even 10% to make it really, really slow in order to see how the easing is working and how everything is working. And I can here I can play around with the transform property. So I can make the animation on hover bit fast. Sorry, let's select the reset animation so we can see here how it works. So as you can see, the value got changed here, and it's changing as I change the slider here. Let's bring it back to 1 second. So let's try to add another property here. I'm going to reset the animation recordings, and let's enable the width property here. For the reset animation, I'm going to make it 590 pixels. And for the hover animation, I'm going to make it 200 pixels. So I'm going to clear out the animations again. And let's record it again. Okay. So now, as you can see here, that it's showing me the property of width and the transform. One thing also, you can stop the animation mid-transition, which is really, really cool. So for example, let's say I want to slow down the animation to be 10%. So let's say it's moving. I can stop it right here. And this is really useful in order to debug your animations, in order to see the easing and to see how it looks and how it's going to behave. So this is a really powerful tool. Yeah, so that's what I want to cover right now. Yeah, so this has been an overview of the animation section. Thank you for watching, and I'll cover the more advanced topics later on. Thank you.